Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So take a deep breath. What happened today? Why did Bitcoin and markets crash? And is the crash going to continue? Is it going to get worse? Is everything about to go under? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what caused today's dump, and let's talk about Bitcoin. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Things are a little bit better right now. Just a slight better because you can see Bitcoin's coming up a little bit. But we started this morning at 59.2. Then the U.S. market opened. We dumped down to about 57.6. Then about 10 minutes ago, we were down to 55.5. And now we're a little bit higher, 56.8. Let's see if we can get a good push back to at least the 57, 58 level. But man, it's been brutal today, and I'm going to speculate why. First of all, U.S. market took a big dump, especially NASDAQ. Dow and S&P did bad, but NASDAQ did absolutely horrendous. And I talked about it this morning. You got likes of Nvidia down almost 10%, the largest market cap drop in history, 300 billion chopped off. Okay, and it made no sense, or maybe it does. It turns out that now, like in aftermarket, it turns out that the Department of Justice is subpoenaing Nvidia due to antitrust investigations. Maybe this is the reason why it fell 10% for no reason at all. Maybe the insiders like Pelosi and others knew about this, so they were dumping Nvidia. This literally came 30 minutes after market close. So don't tell me that that's just a coincidence, right? But Nvidia going down dragged down everyone. MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Tesla, Microsoft, the entire crypto sector and tech sector all got pulled down today. Right? And after the market opened, this is when Bitcoin started coming down because Wall Street was panicking, panic dumping today. Now, why? Why is that? Right? Why are we seeing this panic dump today? It seemed like it was pretty chill. Why all of a sudden? There's a couple reasons. Number one, we had manufacturing data come out in the US, and it was way below expectations, show that the U.S. economy is slowing down in a big way, and somehow this spooked the markets. The only good thing about this is it actually did push up the 50 basis point percentage from 33% to 41%, so that's pretty good. We still have other economic data to digest this week, like jobs report and unemployment report that's coming up Friday, right? But today's weak data did drive things down. So that's number one. But I think a bigger thing that people don't realize what's going on right now, and some of you guys know, some of you guys are smart, but the other big thing is this carry trade problem that's happening with Japan and US and other countries, right? This morning, Bank of Japan governor reiterated that the Bank of Japan will hike rates if outlook is realized. I don't know what that means, but ever since they started raising their rates, it's been absolute disastrous. They did it in August, and that's when markets started crashing like crazy. So now I think markets are again trying to prepare for another rate hike in Japan, and they are selling and dumping and selling and dumping some more. Now, you may wonder, why is everyone so afraid of Japan? Why do people care about Japan? Well, this carry trade thing is quite serious. And again, it's due to greed. Wall Street greed. Do you notice that every single crash that we have is due to Wall Street greed? Why did we have a complete meltdown of banks back in 2008? Wall Street greed on mortgage-backed securities. And same thing, it seems like right now. What's happening right now? So if you actually study this, what's going on with this? Well, because Japan has been their Bank of Japan has been holding their negative interest rate for 8 years. And they did that because they were afraid of deflation. So now they realize, well, okay, they got bigger issues. Okay, they can't continue this on forever. It's actually hurting them more than it's helping them. So they decided to raise their interest rate. So why this is crashing global markets? Again, due to greed. Wall Street, banks, financial institutions. What did they do? They went to Japan and borrowed a shitload of money is what they did. Billions to trillions. We don't know the exact number because borrowing them basically cost nothing. And guess what? They decided to use that money to buy U.S. bonds and U.S. stocks and buy anything outside of Japan because it was like free money. I wish retail investors had this option, right? So basically, you have all these big Wall Street guys, due to greed, they were borrowing at 0%, and then they were buying like bonds for 5% and buying stocks and buying whatever, and it was all good until it wasn't because Japan started raising rates. And then what did that do? Well, that brought the USD down and the yen up. Do you see that? Do you see that massive drop right there? That is absolutely horrendous, right? So that means now it's much more expensive to pay back those loans. So now a lot of companies that have borrowed, they are selling off their assets to try to limit their loss. They have to convert back and pay back their loans because if they don't and the yen continues to gain against the USD, they will be in the red and they will be facing massive losses. That's why we have this global problems right now. Again, it's due to greed of all these bankers and Wall Street types that borrowed billions for free, decided to buy a whole bunch of assets in other countries, and now they're all panicking because Japan is raising their rates. And with their yen getting stronger, everyone is panicking. See, every single like catastrophe that we ever have, I'm not saying we're like as bad as like, you know, what happened in 2008, right? We're not nearly as bad as that right now, or maybe we are, and it's just unraveling right now. But you know, all this is always like just due to extreme greed of banks and bankers and financial institutions and funds and all that stuff, right? So that's kind of why I think this is the bigger issue. More people are afraid that Bank of Japan is going to continue to raise their rates and cause more problems, which is why I think we sold off today, right? And it could continue. I think that's the bigger thing, right? So I guess we'll see how things are tomorrow and the rest of this week. Will we see more tech sell-off? Will we see more sell-off overall? I mean, we did know that this month was the worst month for Bitcoin historically, even though I argue that, hey, history repeats, but history doesn't always repeat, it tends to rhyme, but we could see something different this month because of the rate hikes, of rate cuts in the US. But I didn't know, maybe you guys did, September is also the worst month for stocks. It's not just the worst month for Bitcoin and crypto, it's the worst month for stocks. So maybe that's another reason why Wall Street and others are just panic dumping on nothing. They just want to sell because that's what you do. You sell in September and then you buy in October, right? Because historically speaking, October is the best month for Bitcoin and probably the best month for stocks too. So it could be just that too, right? But I do think if I had to speculate, no one truly knows, but if I had to speculate, I do think it has a lot to do with Japan and this carry trade situation. It has a whole lot of people worried, right? But today, we just had endless selling. No reason for the endless selling. Even this morning, I said while Nvidia is going down, it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And it made no sense that entire tech sector was being pulled down with it, right? A lot of it could be due to this carry trade thing, or it could be because a lot of insiders knew that that Department of Justice was going to subpoena them, right? But despite all this, despite all the negativity, all the FUD, all the dumping, and possibly more red, despite all that, why are we in Bitcoin? I'm going to show you guys two things. Two things, that's it. I'm not going to show a lot of charts today. I'm going to show you two things that's going to make a whole lot of sense. And if it doesn't, well, then you're probably not going to believe what I say anyways. Number one, the halving progress. Okay, we are 9% past the halving event. And if you look at history, with the exception of the very first halving event, the second one in 2016, the third one in 2020, where were we 9% past the halving event? We were going sideways. We didn't go up. Not yet. Not yet. So, are we still moving according to plan? Yes. Have we deviated? Have we gone down to some unfathomable level? Have we broken some kind of resistance that has made Bitcoin look horrible and has ended a bull run? The answer is no. No, no, no. Okay, so number one, according to this cycle and previous cycles, we are still moving just fine. Sideways, maybe down a little bit. That's because we were higher this cycle than previous cycles. Okay, and it correlates with how Bitcoin has moved before. That's number one. Number two, why you want to be in Bitcoin if you don't believe in a halving event. You don't believe in a 4-year cycle. You don't believe that Bitcoin will ever come up. Here's something else that will change your mind, hopefully. What the US dollar versus Bitcoin looks like, what gold versus Bitcoin looks like, what Tesla, what S&P, Dow Jones, Apple, real estate, JP Morgan, NASDAQ. What all these charts look like when you compare them to Bitcoin. Wait, here we go. All right, take a look. And I'm going to play with music because it sounds good with music. Actually, I can't play that music because it's probably, I'm going to get copyrighted if I play that. I'm going to remove my camera. I'm going to start over again. You know, just pretend like you don't hear any music. But this is what it looks like. It doesn't matter what you compare to Bitcoin. Over the long haul, every single asset out there, every single investment out there versus Bitcoin is going to zero. Okay, so I mean, if this doesn't convince you, I don't know what will, because basically we go through these periods. Yes, we go through periods of scariness. Right now, we're going through some macro FUD right now. But when in doubt, zoom out and you compare all other assets out there versus Bitcoin, they all go to zero because nothing is a better investment than Bitcoin. This is fact. Just look at it. There's no chart out there when you compare it or peg it to Bitcoin is actually going up. They're all going down. Every single one. So this is why I believe in Bitcoin. Hopefully you guys believe in Bitcoin. And this is probably a big reason why Larry Fink, who's going all in right now, probably the main reason why he is. Because he realized finally, when you compare everything to Bitcoin, it goes down. Down, 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 down. That's it. Oh, by the way, today for ETFs too. Absolutely horrible. Horrible. 283 million out. BlackRock did not report. I'm really curious tomorrow to see if they stay at zero or they have a third outflow day. Last week they had the second one and it was very unusual for them. But today Fidelity sold $162 million worth. Massive. Grayscale sold 50 million. And then ARK and Bitwise sold about 60 million. Today was an absolutely disastrous outflow day for ETFs, but maybe we see zero or maybe even inflow for from BlackRock, because again, when you compare everything to Bitcoin long term, they're all going to zero. All right. That's all I got to show you guys. Let's do some Q&A. Man, we got like 4,600 people in here. A lot of people worried about Bitcoin. I know today was frustrating. Very frustrating indeed. Alt sold off more. Bitcoin got pulled down by the broader market. You know, it's not Bitcoin. Right now, it's just all this Wall Street, all the greedy guys that have gotten their pants, pulled down, and now they're getting caught. Now they have to sell off all this assets because Japan is raising rates. Unfortunately, they're selling off Bitcoin too right now. Armit, thank you for that. Like right now, I think Asia, look at Japan, -3%. Right? Japan is not doing well right now either. 3% is a whole lot. Crypto Frank, appreciate the big super chat. Like NSYNC saying, buy, buy, buy. I mean, that's what you do. Today I bought a lot. Bought some Nvidia too. I mean, this is what you do, right? If you have dry powder, you buy. You DCA when you can. If you can't, you just continue to hodl. That's really it. Meridian, why do so many people think crypto is banned in China? It isn't, never was. Google, that's not true. That's not true. It was banned. It is still banned. Hong Kong is not for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but mainland China, it is banned. You could still hold it. Doesn't mean it's illegal to hold it, but for trading, like exchanges and stuff, nope. Oh, Miss Super Chat, Domingo. When I was doing my TA, I ended up putting Bylum at 56. It hit this evening. Stack harder, 50K next. A Super Chat like that just puts you in timeout. No one wants some bullshit TA guy saying, look at me, look how smart I am, and then try to send a super chat to try to cover that up. You're getting timed out. Billy Collins, what do you think about DCA into 200 million plus meme coins right now? Just bought Pepe with Alphium Mog. I don't think Alphium is a meme coin. Sure, why not? If you believe in them, and some of them are pretty big, they'll come back. Why not? Yo, George, if I sell my mom's car and buy Solana and give her a 2x, am I a bad husband? You mean bad son? Unless you're saying you're married to your mom, which would be weird. So that doesn't even make any sense. Or maybe it does. And that's just how you live your life, how you swing it. Maybe you should ask her first before doing that. Staycom says this is a good Wall Street manipulation. This will guarantee a 50 basis point cut. Well, it certainly helped because now we got bumped up to 41%, right? So if the rest of this week continues to be bad, then yeah, that's going to get bumped up to 50 plus. Would you sell Tesla stock to buy more Nvidia? I'm a big Nvidia bull. I believe in way more than Tesla at this point. So I'm just going to say that. George, is cocking you dead or should I hold? I still hold mine. I don't think, I mean, memes right now are just doing bad. Very bad. But can they come up? Yes. Parker's like, when is the next meeting? September 18th. So we got about 2 more weeks left. We got some big economic data this week. We started with this. We got something tomorrow too. A couple things tomorrow and Thursday, but unemployment and jobs report will be critical this Friday. But I think right now is everyone is worried about Japan and there's carry trade situation. And again, it's due to absolutely insane greed by the banks and Wall Street types. Armit, will I be able to escape my 95 one moon? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. CryptosRUs getting downgraded to Robo. Maybe a cyber ATV instead of a Cybertruck. PokeK says, you're one of the most level-headed in this space. I appreciate you. I do appreciate that. You know, there are times I feel pain, right? I do feel pain. I feel the frustrations too. I'm sick of the manipulation as well, right? But I've learned that it doesn't help. It doesn't help to panic. It doesn't, you guys are not tuning in to watch me turn bearish and start swearing at the market. That doesn't help anything, okay? You guys want someone to help you get through this, to make you understand that, hey, we go through these bad times. We do. It's frustrating, but ultimately we're in it because we believe what's coming, right? The parabolic run. And if you didn't believe in that, just believe in these charts. Every single asset versus Bitcoin over a long term goes to zero, including the dollar and S&P and the Apple and real estate and NASDAQ. Everything is going to zero when compared to Bitcoin. By the way, Poke AK, I'm looking at your channel right now. Not bad. Not bad. 15, 18 Ks for your video every single day on Pokemon. And I like your setup too. A Pokemon Go battle channel. Nice. Jolamas, you bought Nvidia. Does this mean you'll make it part of DC Pro? No, it's not crypto related, so no, I'm not going to put in my DC portfolio. But I have some options for sure. Still going first class Singapore or not now? LOL. No, I bought it. I bought first class. It's ridiculously expensive. Every single month, I seem like I have some big expenditure. It makes me pissed off every time I have to pay the bills every month, and I'm like, why is the credit card bill so high? And then it's ridiculous. It seems like every month I'm making some travels, I'm going out to places, or I'm making a big purchase or something. Man, I gotta cut all that out. Lowrider, who are you voting for? Haven't heard. You'll never hear from me. It makes no sense to take a side. Who do you consider Nvidia crypto? Probably Solana. You should have gotten a Tesla roof. I do. I don't have the Tesla roof. I have solar. Tesla roof is just solar, right? It's a matter if you want to pay for their stupid batteries, which cost an arm and a leg. Every Tesla house power pack is like $30,000. And for a house like mine, I'll need like 6 or 8 of them to get full coverage. It makes no sense. It's much cheaper to just get a power generator. But right now, it's like electricians or plumbers or whatever. They're just like so hard to like schedule. Every time I try to schedule it, I'm just like so fed up. Jeff Onda Ward. What a name. What a name. I'm just a shrimp, but I'm holding. Love you, man. Thanks for encouragement. Blue collar guy here. It can be done. It can be. It can be. I know there are times it doesn't seem like it, right? Like my DCA portfolio back in 2023, it was negative 50, like 8%. It looked like a joke that I was doing that DCA every single week and it was in the negatives, but it turned positive and it's still green. DCA long-term works. I hear a lot of people saying renders Nvidia crypto. renders on Solana, so that lines up with what George said. Not really. I meant it from like a performance perspective. Charlie says, credit cards, oh my God, stop using credit cards. Debt free is the only way. It is the only way. But it's stupid not to use credit cards because they're giving you free money. I have so many points that I get like so many free airfares covered now. Use credit cards, but pay them off every month. They're giving out free money. They're giving out all these reward points, absolutely free money to you, right? Don't use credit card if you can't pay it off. But if you can pay it off fully every month, you should definitely use it. Take advantage of those rewards. You could buy gift cards with them. Like I get so many points every single month because I spend so much, like on my business card and stuff. VI Jokers, member for 21 months. Thank you. Stay strong, BTC to the moon. Just be patient. Yes. Domingo's back, looking to get blocked, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Bye, Domingo. And thanks for your $5. You have to pay off the credit before the 0% trial ends. You realize if you pay off every month, there is no interest, right? Dave's Digital said a JP and Japan carry trade goes real deep. Again, you know, it's Wall Street greed. It's always greed. Wall Street keeps on figuring out more ways to F everyone. You know, they didn't care that at some point Japan will raise their rates from their negative interest rate policy. And now they're all panicking. Howard says, hard to be patient when we're playing with the same old principles as stock, bonds. You mean how everything's coupled together? Yeah, but at some point, it's not going to be like that, right? Right now, Bitcoin, even though it's like a trillion market cap, still young. That trillion market cap means nothing on the grand scheme of things when you compare it to market cap of gold or real estate or whatever, S&P. It's still very tiny, but, you know, someday it won't be that tiny. Someday Bitcoin will truly decouple away from markets and from everything else. Pats fan, I'm going to give you a pass. So I just looked at your chat history and it seemed like you were a pretty good guy. So I'm going to give you a pass for that comment. Am I going to Singapore for F1? No. For Token 2049. It's the biggest crypto conference on the planet. I've never been there before. and there's like 400 events, and plus Karate Combat is there. The next IFC fight is there. In case you guys haven't been paying attention, you definitely should follow me on X. Sol or Nvidia today? I don't know. So I say both. I say both. Please don't look up my chat history. I'm going to do that right now. That's not bad. Daily Dose drove to La Jolla this weekend, since you mentioned you could live there someday. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? You got the beach area, the cliffs area, the town. Overall, it's just like a lovely place. San Diego's fantastic. Destroyer, member for 1 year. Congrats. When you're doing your walks, have you tried move to earn apps? I have. I was using, I'm actually invested into Amino Rewards, which is like a move to earn, but I'm just too lazy to use it. I just, I just turn on my camera and start talking. Right now, I just don't think that there's a lot, like all those tokens that you get rewarded, don't think it's going to add up too much. So, George, would you buy any of the vehicles you've been driving in videos? Not so far. Um, I wouldn't mind the Jeep 392. I think it's just too expensive. Hendrick 101, because by simply owning Bitcoin, you don't have trust in government and fiat system, they're not going to be happy about it. Yeah, but they also know they can't shut it down. So, so they're not going to try. It's a pointless exercise for them. Ryan says, I quit drinking 3 months ago, but I'm having a beer. Helps with the craving. Near beer? What's a near beer? Like a non-alcoholic beer, hopefully. Would you ever move to Europe? No. No. Yeah, no. Will you ever sell all of your Bitcoin? No, I don't think so. At this point, I'm always going to keep some. I will take profits in 2025, but I will always have some Bitcoin. Would you buy a Bored Ape now since they're kind of affordable? That's a good question. You know, back in 2021, 2022, when things were coming down, I wanted to buy a Bored Ape, but now I just I don't know if NFTs are going to come back. I really don't. So I think I'd rather use that, whatever, 30K, 20K to buy crypto instead. They cannot shut down at BTC. No. BTC is worldwide. One country shuts it down and another country just embraces it. Can't shut it down. All right, guys. Overall, I know today was pretty bad. Pretty shitty. Okay. Asia's crashing right now. US crashed. Tech crashed. Nvidia crashed. Bitcoin crashed. Everything crashed. Okay, why? Bad manufacturing data. This carry trade worry. September being a historically bad month. Take your pick. But the one thing you need to understand about Bitcoin is this. Every single asset on the planet, when compared to Bitcoin, goes to zero. You just have to have patience and focus on long term. That's it. All right, guys, stay strong. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one.